Hi guys, welcome back. Today we'll be doing a bandana. So I'm going to be using this Yarn Bee yarn in the color Hummus for this one. And then also a F-hook, which is 3.75 millimeters. In order to do a magic ring, you need to make sure that this tail ends up being in the center of this. So instead of putting this through, you're going to make sure that your loose end is the one that goes through. That way, when you pull this loose end, this ring ends up getting smaller, and that's what you want. I'm going to go ahead and do that again. I want less of a tail at the end. So as you can see, if I pull this, this loop gets smaller. So that'll be my magic ring. And then I'll be pulling up a loop here and then chaining 1, 2, 3 to start. And then I'll be doing a double crochet into the magic ring like this. And then I'll be chaining 1, and then I'll be doing 2 more double crochets into the magic ring. So you should have about a total of 4, including that chain 3. And then you can go ahead and close the magic ring. And once you do that, you should have formed this very first row. It should look like this. Oh, you can see that. And then I will be working upwards and continuing on, and I'll be increasing every row. So I'll show you how to do that. So we'll be chaining 2, turning our work, doing a double crochet into this very first stitch here. And then chaining 1. And the chain 1 is to create a space like this one, so that you'll be having room to work into those spaces later on. And you'll be creating kind of like a mesh look for the bandana. So yeah, so I'll be chaining 1 and then doing 2 double crochets into this space that I have like this, and then chaining 1, and then we'll be doing 2 double crochets into this third chain at the very beginning. So 2 double crochets here, and then that finishes our second row, and we'll be starting our third. So at the start of every row should be two chains, flipping over your work, and then working into that first stitch. That will complete 2 double crochets, including the chain 1, and then 2 double crochets into this space. And now you can see we added an extra space from the previous row, chain 1, and then 2 more double crochets into this space. And then chaining 1 again, and then we'll be working into that chain at the beginning of the first. Okay, so double crochet here and another double crochet into that same chain. Like that. And as you can see, the work that we're doing here is starting to expand. So this is the first row, second row, third row, and then you can keep doing this until it's the width that you want it for the headband. And then once it gets to that, I'll come back and we can work on the sides, the scallop edge, and the straps. Okay, so I'm finally at a point where I feel like this is long enough. And I ended up doing 17 rows. So something I've noticed about making these is you want to have an odd number of rows for the scalloped edge to look good. So I'm going to go ahead and start, and we're going to be working in the middle of each of these rows in these spaces here. So to start, I am going to do 6 double crochets into this space. 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and then you can see this shelf starting to form, and then we'll be doing a slip stitch into this next section. So we're working pretty much on these inner posts, pretty much in between the rows. So I'll be doing a slip stitch here, and then I'll be working my next 6 double crochets into this area right here. That's 5, 6. Okay, and then slip stitching again in this next middle of the row, and then working my next 6 into this space. Three, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, slip stitching here, and just to show you guys what it's starting to look like, I have this scalloped edge, and then I'll be continuing this all throughout the edge of this, and once I reach the point, I will continue there, so you can see what I do there. Okay, so I'm at the end of this row now, and I'm pretty much to the corner. So we'll be working also 6 into, you can either do it into the magic ring or you can do it into this open space. I'm going to go ahead and do it into the ring. So right here, 6, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I went ahead and opened that back up, but you can tighten this back up. And as you can see, the scalloped edge, I'll be working this slip stitch here. And then I'll just be continuing to do the rest. Just a quick note, you want to make sure that the shells match up on either side. So if you follow this line, this shell, you can follow the line to the other side, and this will be where the center of your other shells should be. So I hope that makes sense. So I can show you. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So as you can see, the center of this should be here, and then we're ending it here. So I'm going to slip stitch right here. And you can tell that these match up in the center line. Okay, and then again, you'll continue this until the end of this row. And once we get to the end, I'll show you how to start making the straps. Okay, so I finally got to the end here. So as you can see, we have both rows done and all of the scalloped edges should match up. So I should have a total 2, 4, 6, 8, not counting the corner, 2, 4, 6, 8 over here. So now we can do the straps. And for the straps, I just do, you can either do a foundation chain, but for this one, I'm going to keep it simple and just do a just regular chain. So I'm going to be chaining probably just along the same amount that I did for here. So I can do, I'm going to go ahead and just count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 8, 29, 30. And I'm going to go ahead and measure to see. So I probably need 45 is my guess. 42, 43, 44, and 45. So yeah, I'm going to just keep it at 45. And I can go ahead and cut off this yarn. And just tie off this end. And I'll probably end up burning this end so that it doesn't unravel. Or you can also weave in the end here. Okay. So that'll be the strap. And then I will do the same thing for this other side. But I'll just have to attach a new thing of yarn. And I'll attach it here. Attach here. And then I can go ahead and start counting from here. So I'll do another 45, 44, 45, and I will cut off the yarn and just tie this end off as well. And this would be your completed project now. So these straps should be about the length of this. And you're all set. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you want more tutorials like this one, please follow, like, share, and I'll see you in the next one.